Greetings, botanists. I want you to look at what happened while we were out of the classroom. Hank and his wife had puppies. I'd like you to meet Ginger. Yes, Ginger. Ginger is from the spice litter. And you're thinking, well, why is Ginger here to talk about the life cycle of plants? Well, we're getting to that. But first, we're going to talk about some of the adaptations that Ginger here is going to have throughout his life. Well, you know that as a sled dogs have to survive some very harsh winters. So let's talk about 5 of those major adaptations that sled dogs have. They have that long tongue that Ginger is good manners enough to keep in his mouth. The long tongue allows him to pant through all of that running and get rid of some of that heat. Ginger has a different kind of fat in his paws and tough skin on them that allows him to run and prevent frostbite as he's running. Now, unlike most animals, Ginger here has 2 different kinds of fur. There is guard hair on the outer layer, and that serves as water repellent or a raincoat. And the under fur is the insulation that's going to keep Hank and Ginger warm in those very, very harsh Alaskan winters. Now, we already know about that bushy tail that sled dogs have, and we've seen many pictures of them curled up at the checkpoints. They take that pointy nose and they tuck it right in that bushy tail. And when they exhale or they breathe out, it traps that warm air and they stay nice and cozy warm while they nap at those checkpoints. Now, the last adaptation that a sled dog has is they have a very different kind of circulation in their blood. It is what's called counter-concurrent. And what happens is that different kind of blood that's pumping through their bodies, just like pumps through ours, is it allows them to conserve heat as they're running. So, animals have adaptations just like sled dogs have 5 very important adaptations. So, what does this have to do with plants? Well, plants have very adaptations too. We'll talk about those. Believe it or not, plants have adaptations too. And today we're going to talk about those. Some of the vocabulary that we'll come across today will be adapt, which you already know means to modify or make something suitable for a new purpose. An adaptation is a change that helps a living thing become better suited to its environment. A habitat is the natural home or environment of an animal or plant. The last word is carnivorous. Now, if you look at that word carnivorous and you took off that O-U-S, you're going to have the word carnivore. Yes, now you know a carnivore is a meat eater. Did you know there were meat-eating plants? Yes. Let's talk about some of those. All right, plants, animals, and humans adapt to their environment. Adaptations are special features that allow a plant to live in a particular climate or habitat. Some plants have developed interesting ways to adjust to their surroundings. Pine trees have adapted by growing in a triangle shape with needle-like leaves so that heavy snowfall in the winter slides off and won't break their branches. And I saw lots and lots of trees just like this growing in Denali National Park during my visits there. Desert plants have developed ways to protect themselves in hot desert climates. Cactus plants have spikes to protect them from birds and animals. They, along with aloe plants, store water in their leaves. The waxy leaves of the aloe plant protect it from heat and keep moisture inside the plant. Now here are those words underneath photographs. Now words underneath photographs are very important text features. What are those called again? That's right, captions. And the caption under this photograph reads prickly pear cactus. Now I have to giggle when I read that caption because I actually ate one of those in Arizona. Now, those prickly spikes were taken off. And you know what? It was actually quite good, thank you very much. Next, mesquite trees have developed long roots that grow deep into the ground to find water in very dry climates. Sandbox trees produce exploding fruit that can spread seeds far from the tree. Remember, we talked about that as being one of the ways that seeds can be dispersed yesterday. That's my favorite method. Another example of an adaptation is found in the taro plant. Also called the elephant ear plant, it has developed large leaves so that it can gather sun in the shady rainforest where it grows. Boy, doesn't that look just like an elephant ear. Wait for it. Carnivorous plants. Some plants are carnivores or meat eaters. These plants have adaptations to lure or to bring in and trap insects. Venus flytrap is probably the best known carnivorous plant. Unlike most plants, it naturally thrives in poor soil and gets most of its nutrients by trapping and eating insects. And if you're interested in learning more about those meat-eating carnivorous plants, you can certainly do that through your free EPIC account. Remember, I told you about that yesterday. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3 to get into that account. All you have to do is click on the EPIC link below, type in the code QDP4069, and those are lowercase letters, no spaces, and you're going to find your name in there. And you have a whole library of books at your disposal. I told you, you can even find Flat Stanley in there. But right now, I'll bet you're dying to read more about meat-eating plants. Go to that search bar. Search for it. Meat-eating plants. There are some super cool photographs of those Venus flytraps and many more of those plants with that oh so interesting adaptation. But to me, there is no more interesting creature with adaptations than those sled dogs, like my brand new Ginger from the spice litter. This concludes our study of the plant life cycle. I hope you enjoyed learning about it just as much as I enjoyed teaching you about it.